Well, hello, my beautiful Cancer friends. Welcome to your June full moon reading. So it's a full moon in Capricorn. The strawberry moon is what it is called. And it is happening tomorrow, which is June 24th. And you know, a Capricorn moon, like we are talking about releasing old structures, old things maybe in which we have found ourselves attached to, unable to really release ourselves from. It can certainly be the thing, and it can be releasing addictions, whether that's substance, people, whatever the case may be, situations. Right? There's all sorts of different structures within our lives, and Capricorn is oftentimes very much representing structures and beliefs. So especially with this full moon, and it's a great time to release the old structures and the old beliefs that just aren't going to serve you going forward. So we're going to start with the Spirit Animal Oracle. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Wherever else you find it in your chart, keep in mind it is a collective reading. So, take what fits, leave what doesn't. If you find this at a later date, trust that it was meant to find you when it found you. We are certainly not all on the same growth path by any means, so messages are not all going to resonate at the same time for everybody, okay? All right, so Cancer, let's get into this. So this is for the full moon in Capricorn, the strawberry full moon in June. This is for Cancers. What is the overall energy for this full moon for Cancers? Okay. All right. Well, we have transformation, the butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. And that actually came out in reverse, which is the protection message. And that's actually the number 11 as well. 1-1. We have the wolf spirit. Wow. Turn knowledge into wisdom. Beautiful omen. I love the wolf. And we also have the antelope. Life is speeding up. All right. So I am going to read the protection message actually for the butterfly spirit. I was going to read one out of, I wanted to read it anyway. But now that it came out in the butterfly, maybe I'll just read both. Bee, butterfly, where are you? Be beautiful. Nope, that's not how it's. I was spelling beautiful. That doesn't even make sense. Alyssa, you are something else some days. Come on, it has to be right in here. Where is it? Buffalo, butterfly, right? Yes, here we are. All right. So I'm going to read the protection message of the butterfly spirit. And it says, transformation does not have to be traumatic or dramatic. As things may seem right now, remember, change is the only true constant. When you resist it, you create a tension within you. And as you refuse to accept the inevitability, in this moment, you might have forgotten the beauty and joy of life as it moves through its seasons. As nature dictates, you are being faced with a choice now. You can struggle with the current conditions, refusing to surrender and see through the lenses of lack and loss. Or you can surrender to grace that is calling. Excuse me. Sorry, guys, the wind blew the wolf and the antelope away. You can struggle with the current conditions, refusing to surrender and see through the lenses of lack and loss. Or you can surrender to grace that is calling you to allow life to take its course, move through the sadness and disappointment. Surrender will soften you, inviting you to bask in gratitude and see through the lens of curiosity. These are the keys to tuning in to the infinite potential available to you now. Butterfly spirit knows the beauty and delight you are on the brink of discovering. Let go and trust that it is there for you. Wow, that is a beautiful. And then especially with, the wolf spirit following that, turning knowledge into wisdom. You have all that you have overcome, and you have learned so many lessons in life, and now allow that knowledge that you have acquired to be the wisdom that goes forward. And the antelope spirit, right, with life is speeding up, life is changing. Allow the spirit and the universe to really guide those changes for you. All right, so let's get into the tarot here. So we are using the Good Tarot here by Colette Baron-Reid. We're going to start with some energies and then the challenge to this transformation and to all of this energy with the full moon. And then the reasons as to why it's so important that this transformation takes place. Cancer, sun, moon, rising, recent past energy. Thank you. The Nine of Earth in the recent past energy, current energy. We have the Magician. Immediate future. We have the King of Cups and the Eight of Air. Okay, challenge. Why is this challenging the Cancers? Wow, okay. We have Temptation, the Queen of Air, and the King of Fire. Wow, all right. No, please. Why is it so windy today? Injustice. Wow. All right. Okay, Cancers, this is beautiful. So Justice came out at the bottom of the deck, you see, and there's this balance. There is this liberation within inside of self, and I feel that that is why this transformation and you know, I feel like that is why this transformation is so beautiful and so important to you at this time, because you are liberating yourself, right? You are allowing, you're truly just allowing yourself to step into this new form of transformation that needs to happen. Recent past energy, we have the Nine of Earth. Now, the Nine of Earth is all about self-fulfillment, okay? Feeling prosperous, you know, good things surrounding you. But in order to really feel that kind of self-fulfillment, it comes with a level of self-accountability, right? Because in order for us to really feel fulfillment and feel prosperous and feel joyous within our lives, we have to be very accountable for the energies that we allow within our space, right? If we're going to allow low vibration, you know, succubus kind of energy within our lives, well, then we have to be prepared that we are going to feel that kind of low vibration, right? If you're wanting to feel happiness and prosperity and flourish in life, then you need to really be accountable for the kind of prosperous energies you allow within your life. All right, so let's clarify this Nine of Earth in the recent past energy. The Four of Wands, the Chariot, and the Ace of Wands clarify that Nine of Earth. For some of you, you may have found some sort of relationship or something that kind of sparked you, something that really excited you here. I do feel that there is some celebration to be had. And for there was this need for you to really take control of the reins of your chariot, guys. You know, I think that's where this self-accountable kind of energy came from. Because in order to really move, and it's interesting, but the nine of Earth can sometimes be the single Pringle card too. So maybe it's that energy of like you acknowledging that you wanted to find you've been in that single Pringle energy and you're wanting to move forward. You're wanting to find that kind of soulmate kind of connection, that kind of happiness. And it was that acknowledgement of having to steer, well, if that's what I want, then I have to steer my chariot in that direction. The Ace of Wands was there as well. And the aces are gifts from the divine. You know, this is something that Spirit has kind of set passion to. And I'm not saying that by no means is that going to fit for everybody, that it's, you know, that you're single and that you're all out here looking for new love. No, that's not what I'm saying either. But I do believe, Cancer, that there is something inside of you that is sparking new passion. Okay? There's some sort of, I feel that you've kind of definitely in the recent past energy have really found this fulfillment within inside of self and really like acknowledged, okay, what is going to make me happy, and started to really steer your chariot in that direction, you know? And maybe for some of you, especially with the antelope and that chariot there in that recent past energy, maybe for some of you, it all happened kind of quickly. Transformation began to happen. Maybe a situation began to kind of unfold before you. Now, the beautiful spot is your current energy is the energy of the magician. You know, this is acknowledging that you have all the power you have to be able to transform and manifest and steer that chariot, that forward movement in the direction in which you want to go. The magician is about acknowledging the power that is within us. Okay, the magician is where we acknowledge that our power, you know, we have all things that we need to overcome within our lives. We have all the tools within us. Okay, that is something that was divinely, it takes the lessons of life to really unlock those tools for us to go forward here. But I do feel in this current energy, Cancer, I feel that you're starting to feel very strong. I feel that you're starting to really kind of understand it and know that the kind of power that you have within you. Wow, the Three of Cups. Yeah, for some of you, it's a fellowship. Again, there is that the Three of Cups can definitely have a romantic aspect to it. Yeah, look at that. Three of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the Five of Wands. Clarify this magician. There's this change within inside you, Cancer. This transformation is something in which you're really opening up. I do believe that you've really had to level self up. I feel that you had to do this growth within inside of self to really find how powerful you truly were or are. You know, I do feel that there has been some sort of support here, especially with that Three of Cups. Maybe it is a relationship, maybe it's fellowship, soul tribe, friendships kind of energies, but something that really supported you to embrace that power within inside of self, really encouraged you even to kind of level yourself up. You know, to really find that level and that light within inside of self, to really connect to that power of self. I feel that Three of Cups energy is something that is supporting your growth here, your authenticity. And it could be simply, it could be simply because those supporting you are doing that growth themselves, you know, and through that growth through themselves, I love this card, but through that growth through themselves, they're helping you to continue to grow, right? We have the King of Cups and the Eight of Wands in the immediate future. And the King of Cups is your own masculine energy here. Okay, that is very much a Cancer card, this King of Cups. And the Eight of Wands is about releasing yourself from the idea of victim mentality. Okay, releasing yourself from the things that have really kept you trapped, tight, bound. And I feel that you are stepping into yourself right now, Cancer. You are truly stepping in and liberating self. You know, you're turning all of this knowledge that you have overcome and that you have acquired throughout your life, and you're turning it into the actual wisdom of who you are going forward. The King of Cups is somebody who is so deeply connected to their soul, to their purpose, to their passions, to their spirituality. They're connected to who they are on a very emotional level, and they can express that. When it comes out with this Eight of Wands, I feel that you are expressing, you're releasing yourself from that victim mentality. You know, I oftentimes feel that Eight of Swords is that narrative in which we tell ourselves. You know, we are all victimized within our lives. We all go through situations that leave us feeling like a victim. Okay, and not necessarily leave us even feeling like a victim, but actually they victimize us. They make us a victim at that situation. Okay, but we have the ability to choose to go forward and either be that wound and be defined by that wound, which is that victim mentality, or to choose to grow from that wound, choose to overcome it, choose to not be defined by the wound, but to use that kind of wound to define the kind of being we are that can overcome it. If that makes any sense, right? And see, and I feel I do feel that in this immediate future, there is this sense of self that you are deeply connecting to, that releases you from the idea that you are defined by the wounds of your past. And I think that comes simply from this power in which you are currently kind of, Yeah, see, I feel that those, especially with this full moon in Capricorn, I feel that those are huge structures that are coming down. Those old beliefs, right? That old victim mentality, that's part of those old structures that you're releasing within this full moon. Yeah, Queen of Wands. You know, and the Queen of Wands is the energy about embracing. Queens are all about embracing our intuition, our inner knowing, our inner guidance. That's our divine feminine energy, right? And that divine masculine energy is what we show up to in the world around us, the action steps in which we put in. But our divine feminine energy, which is in all of us, you know, that's not gender specific. That divine feminine energy is where we connect to our intuition, you know. And the wands are all about our passions and our spirituality. You know, being guided by that kind of passion, guided by that spirituality, guided by our intuition, connecting here. You know, the Queen of Wands, you can see she's hoisting these lessons of her life high above her hand. And she acknowledges that the power here, she has that power. She continues, it's her light. It's her light. It's her shine. That is her power, her authenticity. That is the power that she possesses here. You see, and that's what I feel you're truly walking into here, Cancer. Is understanding that when you show up to authentically express who you are vulnerably, when you can release yourself from those kind of that trapping mentality, you know, that Eight of Swords mentality, when you can release yourself from that trapped kind of thinking, you begin to see that you are the power here. Your authenticity is the power here. Right? You have all of these lessons. You have acquired so many lessons from your past, good and bad, right? Those lessons are what you need now to connect to go forward here. Okay, that's what's going to liberate you here. Because again, look, here's this temptation and the challenging energy. The temptation is the devil. And the devil energy is actually it actually represents that of the Capricorn. The Capricorn energy here. That's exactly what this is. You see, and the challenge here is the clarity. The challenge here is to break yourself away from those old structures, from those old beliefs, from those old patterns. Again, it certainly can be substances. It certainly can be people. It can be things that we constantly attach ourselves to, that kryptonite that we have within our lives, right? The Queen of Swords comes after this, and this is the clarity and the truth. This is listening to that clarity. And again, that divine feminine energy. This is that intuition that you must be crystal clear on and listen to it and understand it. And then the King of Fire comes out behind that. Well, here's that action step of connecting to that of authenticity, to that of your purpose. Showing up to truly show who you are. And I love that he bears his heart here. Very much, very vulnerable. Okay? Showing what his heart actually truly is. Let's see. Why is this devil energy here? Why is this challenging? The Cancers. The moon. Yeah, look at that. The illusions. Interesting. You know, and the moon here, this is all about having the faith in the divine. You know, and oftentimes shadows can leave us believing, and shadows can leave us fearing what we cannot see, right? And then in the energy of the moon, which is interesting because the sun is the divine masculine energy and the moon is the divine feminine. And that's that connection to the divine. That's that communication piece to the divine. And here, you know, the divine and the creator is definitely, there are illusions there are shadows, there are things that are simply just kind of like in your face and trying to trick you here. That's what the devil energy is all about. Those toxic, low vibration bullshit, right? That just get up in your head and try to convince you of things that are not true, structures, beliefs that are not true. See? And here, the challenge is to connect to the divine. The challenge is here to have faith, even though to surrender anyway. To feel the fear and surrender anyway, right? Release yourself from those old structures that aren't going to serve you, okay? Well, the Queen of Air is clarified by the Knight of Wands because, again, here's that level of authenticity and it's being crystal clear. You know, the Queen of Air, she isn't going to show up and be anybody but who she is. Okay, she's crystal clear in who she is. She is crystal clear in the things and the people and the energy that she allows within her space. Okay, she knows who she is authentically. Okay, and that can be very challenging here to allow that truth to be what you show to the world, to allow that kind of truth and that kind of thinking. And the Queen of Swords in a distorted energy can often be very rigid and very cold. And it's important that you allow yourself, Cancer, to continue to be vulnerable and to continue to express emotion and not to be cold here, right? It's very important here that you acknowledge, okay, wait a minute, am I just being cold-hearted? Like, is that a barrier or a boundary, right? Because though they may play the same, they may play the same part in your story, one is going to inhibit growth and one is definitely going to support it. Boundaries support growth, barriers inhibit them. Because you can't grow either way. You know what I mean? You see, and I feel that this level of authenticity, Cancer, is so hard for you just to show up to. Because that vulnerability of self, that vulnerability to be authentically you is so fucking challenging for you. I get that. I do. I truly get that. Let's clarify this King of Fire. Why is this King of Fire challenging the Cancers? Why is this King of Fire challenging the Cancers? Thank you. Five of Cups. Yep. You know, because in order for you to truly embrace this King of Fire, which is, you know, all about your passions and your authenticity and standing up for who you are, you have to release the old emotional baggage. Okay? And see how this girl is literally dumping out? So she's pouring out those cups. She's releasing herself from the emotional baggage here. And you have to. You have to release yourself from the emotional burdens that we carry that aren't going to serve us going forward. Because you can see behind her is a cup of new opportunity. A cup behind her is this new beautiful cup that is full with so many new beginnings. Okay, and it's not that we must it's not that when we release, like those old cups were already spilt. And it's not that what was in those cups wasn't beautiful at a time. I mean, that's why they go into the sand and they're a beautiful pearl, right? It's not that we overlook how beautiful they are, but we have to acknowledge that in order to go forward in life, we have to heal from that emotional pain. In order to truly express who we are and live a life of purpose and passion, we have to acknowledge that what wasn't for us simply wasn't for us. And we must allow that to be a part of our journey. We must allow that to be a part of our story, but continue to go forward anyway. You know? Continue to live life. Again, kind of like this, we are not defined by those, we are not defined by those old emotional wounds, right? We have to release ourselves. We have to allow ourselves to continue to still live, really, is what it comes down to, right? So the reasons as to why this transformation is so important to you at the time, well, we have the Three of Wands, the Strength, and the Ace of Air. The Three of Wands is about moving into a higher vibration, choosing to walk a higher road, choosing to liberate yourself here, choosing to turn that knowledge that you have learned into wisdom of life so that you can walk on higher vibrations, so you can live a more fulfilling kind of life, And not just materialistically, but emotionally, spiritually, right? Life isn't just meant to be, lived for materialistic purposes. Our souls come here to learn massive lessons, guys. So allow your soul that opportunity to grow. Okay, because that is what it is here to do. That is what it wants to do. We have the strength that comes after that Three of Wands. And this isn't about learning the strength of being, the noisiest one on the block. This is about the strength and connecting to that courage, connecting to that bravery within inside of self. Okay? This is a strength that comes from deep inside. And here is that truth. Here is that clarity. Here is the new beginning. Another ace. Aces, gifts from the divine. This is truth, clarity. Aha, that comes from the divine here, my friends. Okay, this is the reason why this transformation is so important. The reason for the Three of Wands, Page of Wands. Because you are a new being going forward here. The reason that you're moving on a higher level is because you've done changes. You're throwing up your wands. You're not going forward, repeating cycles of the past here, Cancer. This transformation is upon you and you can see it for what it is. You acknowledge it for the growth that is taking place. And yes, it's not always going to be beautiful, but yes, it's going to be liberating. You have so much wisdom from all that you have overcome in the past. And that's that Page of Wands, going forward with this new wisdom, being inspired to authentically serve this new you. to authentically live this new you, right? The strength. And strength is clarified by the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is often very quick moving, very much like that antelope, right? Maybe for some of you, you feel that your strength has been pushed to the limit and you've really had to connect here to that inner power and that inner strength of self. That courage, that unwavering faith in the divine, that unwavering faith in self, Cancer. We have to have faith in our own inner strength. We have to have faith that yes, we do have weaknesses. Yes, we do have a shadow side, but that we are strong enough to connect to our strength within inside. We are strong enough to connect to our light. That is the strength energy. You know, that is why you are vibrating on higher levels. That's why you are feeling this forward movement. That's why this transformation is guiding you into this phase and encouraging you to expand. Okay? Encouraging you very much to turn all of this knowledge into this wisdom. There is truth here. Why is this Ace of Air here? And the reasons. Justice and the Four of Swords. Interesting. Here's that justice again. Liberation of self. And Four of Swords is taking the time out to connect to your truth, to connect to your safety within inside of self, your own peace within inside of self. This is where you're bringing that balance, Cancer. Okay? This full moon change is definitely like these structures in, you know, this full moon in Capricorn and these structures that you are releasing, like you're releasing yourself from, you've done so much growth, you've done so much transformation. Allow yourself to truly embrace this next phase. Find this truth within inside of self. Find this magician within inside of self. Connect to this power, right? Right. Very much so. There is truth coming in for you here. And I feel that you are just going to be, as you connect greatly, especially to this Four of Swords, as you just take the time to listen, okay? Take the time to hear self. You will begin to balance out. That truth is going to be, it's going to be right in front of your face. You won't be able to miss it. But you won't be able to miss it when you connect to your own self. When you show up authentically, then that truth is going to present itself in such a way it will be undeniable. All right, Cancers, let's finish this out with the Moonology Oracle. What does the Moonology have for you, Cancers, going forward? Do you have spirit for the Cancers going forward? Your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. Look at this. Show the world the real you. What were we just talking about? Full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. And believe in the impossible, the blue moon. Okay? Once in a blue moon, believe in the impossible, my friends. Believe in the impossible. Well, Cancers, thank you for joining me. That was such a beautiful reading. All the best and all my love. Take care of your beautiful soul. Bye now.